My parents spent $188,000 on my sister's college education. They told me I wasn't worth the investment. 4 years ago, my dad sat me down at the kitchen table with a spreadsheet. An actual spreadsheet, columns color-coded, projections charted out to year 10, and explained why funding my education didn't make financial sense. My sister Lauren got the full ride from the bank of mom and dad: tuition, housing, meal plan, a new car sophomore year. I got a firm handshake and 5 words: "You're resourceful, you'll figure it out." I did figure it out. 3 jobs, 4 hours of sleep, and more ramen than any human should consume in a lifetime. And 4 years later, when my parents showed up to graduation with flowers and a camera ready for Lauren's big moment, they had no idea what was coming. My mom grabbed my dad's arm in the middle of the ceremony. I saw her lips move. Even from the stage, I knew exactly what she whispered. "My name is Freya Torrance. I'm 22 years old. And this is the story of how my family finally saw me." The kitchen table in our house has this long scratch down the middle from when Lauren dragged a steak knife across it at age 6. Mom thought it gave the wood character. Dad just never replaced it. That table is where every important family decision gets made, and on a Tuesday night in August, 4 years ago, it's where my dad opens his laptop and pulls up a spreadsheet titled Education ROI, Torrance Family. He turns the screen toward me. 2 columns. Lauren's column is green, mine is red. "Lauren's going to Wexford College," he says. "Business program, top 50 nationally. Tuition, housing, meal plan, we've got it covered." I already know this. Lauren's been posting countdown graphics on Instagram for weeks. "What about me?" I ask. He scrolls down. My column, State University, Computer Science, projected ROI, uncertain. "You got into State," he says. "It's a fine school, but I'm not paying premium prices for a generic product, Freya. That's not smart money." My mother sits beside him, hands wrapped around a mug of tea. She doesn't look at me. She doesn't disagree. "What about Grandma's fund?" I say. My grandmother left $12,000 in a savings account when she passed, for both her granddaughters. Both. I remember her saying it at Thanksgiving the year before she died, splitting a slice of pecan pie with me on the porch. "Half for you, half for Lauren, for school." Dad clicks to another tab. "That's been allocated to Lauren's study abroad semester in Barcelona. She needs the international experience." $12,000. The only thing my grandmother left with my name on it, rerouted without a conversation. I stand up. "Okay, Dad." I go upstairs, I close my door, I open my laptop, and I start searching. The favoritism didn't start at that kitchen table, it just became a spreadsheet there. When Lauren turned 16, she got a pearl white Honda Civic with a red bow on the hood. 20 of her friends came over. Mom made a cake shaped like a steering wheel. When I turned 16 2 years later, I got Lauren's old laptop, cracked screen, 40-minute battery life. "We can't do 2 cars, Mom said." She looked sorry. She didn't look like she'd tried to change it. Family vacations were the same script every year. Lauren got her own hotel room. I slept on pull-out couches, roll-away beds, once a closet the resort called a cozy nook. In every family photo, Lauren stood center frame, glowing. I was always at the edge. Sometimes my elbow made it in, sometimes it didn't. The day Lauren left for college was a production. 30 people in the living room, gift bags on the counter, a speech from Dad about investing in the future. Lauren cried. Mom cried. Everyone hugged. The day I left for State, Dad drove me to the Greyhound station. 1 suitcase, $200 in an envelope. "Call us when you get there," he said. I called from the bus station in Millfield at 9:14 p.m. Nobody picked up. That night, alone in a dorm room that smelled like industrial cleaner, I opened Instagram. Lauren had posted a photo of her new room at Wexford. Fairy lights, a tapestry, a mini fridge stocked with flavored water. Caption: "College life begins. Thanks, Mom and Dad." Diane's comment: "My baby girl, so proud." I posted a picture of my dorm. Cinder block walls, a bare mattress, no comments from family. I put my phone face down on the desk and unpacked alone. That was the last time I expected anything from them. What I didn't realize was that 4 years later, they'd be the ones expecting something from me. Freshman year breaks me down to parts and reassembles me into something leaner. I work 3 jobs. Barista at a cafe called Morning Grind. Shift starts at 4:30 a.m. Teaching assistant for the introductory CS lab in the afternoon. Data entry for a local insurance office from 7 to 10 at night. Between those I go to class. Between class I study. Between studying I sleep. Usually 4 hours, sometimes 3. My food budget is $28 a week. I meal prep on Sundays. Rice, canned black beans, pasta with jarred sauce, peanut butter sandwiches. I keep a bag of apples on my desk because they're cheap and they don't need a fridge. In October, I get a stomach flu so bad I can't get out of bed for 3 days. My roommate is visiting her boyfriend in another city. I lie on the floor of the shared bathroom at 2 a.m. with a fever and no one to call. I call Mom anyway. She picks up. I'm coughing so hard I can barely talk. Drink some ginger tea, sweetie. I'm helping Lauren pack. She's coming home for fall break. Feel better? She hangs up. 14 seconds total. I time it because I'm staring at the call log when the screen goes dark. That week, Lauren posts photos from her fall break at home. Pumpkin patch, apple cider, Mom and Dad on either side of her, arms linked. The caption, nothing like family. By December, I check my student loan balance for the first time. $23,000 after 1 semester. Tuition, fees, housing, books. I stare at the number. Then I close the screen and get dressed for my 4:30 shift. I don't need them to pay. I just need them to care. But caring apparently isn't in the budget either. Sophomore year, the week before Thanksgiving, I call home. Hey Mom, should I come home for the holiday? A pause. I hear dishes clinking. Oh, honey, the thing is, Lauren's bringing Marcus home to meet the family. We're doing a smaller dinner this year, and the guest room's set up for them. You'd have to sleep on the couch, and it might be awkward with the whole meet the boyfriend thing. You understand, right? I understand perfectly. Sure, Mom. I'll stay on campus. The library's open anyway. That's my girl, so independent. Thanksgiving Day. I walk to the deli 3 blocks from campus, one of 4 places still open. Turkey sandwich on wheat, $6.50. I eat it at my desk while rereading lecture notes on data structures. That evening, a notification lights up my phone. Facebook. Diane Torrance has posted new photos. I tap. A mahogany table set with the good china. Candles. A turkey the size of a small dog. Robert at the head. Diane beside him. Lauren and Marcus across the table holding hands. Grandpa Bill at the far end, looking slightly confused by the camera. Everyone is there. Everyone except me. Caption. Grateful for family. I am not tagged. I close the app. I don't cry. I've been training myself out of that since the Greyhound station. I pick up my textbook and I open to chapter 9. I decide something that night. Not revenge. Not anger. I'm not built for those. Something quieter. I decide that I will build a life where I never need to ask permission to belong, where I never again sit by a phone waiting for someone to remember I exist. 2 months later, an email lands in my inbox that changes the entire trajectory of my next 3 years. The spring semester bill arrives and I'm short. I do the math 3 times and the number doesn't move. Textbooks and lab fees alone are $2,000 I don't have. I call Dad. I keep my voice even. Dad, I need help with textbooks and lab fees this semester. How much? $2,000. That's a lot, Freya. Lauren's meal plan alone costs $3,000 a semester. Silence on the line, the kind he fills with calculations. Your sister's situation is different. How? She's at a competitive school. The exposure, the network. It's an investment that compounds. You're at state. I'm your daughter, Dad, not a line item. A long pause. I can hear him breathing. I'll talk to your mother. He never calls back. 2 weeks later, a text from Mom. Dad says he can't swing it right now. Lauren needs a new laptop for her summer internship. Hang in there, sweetie. I look up the laptop Lauren posts about the following week. MacBook Pro. $2,499. $500 more than what I asked for. I sell plasma twice that month. I buy used textbooks from a senior who's graduating. I borrow a lab manual from the library reserve desk, 2 hours at a time, and photograph every page with my phone. I make it work. I always make it work. That's the trap. When you're the kid who manages, they never feel the need to help. Your competence becomes their excuse. But the email from January is sitting in my inbox, read and reread a dozen times. A spring merit scholarship, $8,000 a year, and a professor's name I'll carry with me for the rest of my life. Dr. Elaine Marsh. Lauren calls me for the first time in 8 months. I pick up on the third ring, standing in the campus parking lot between my afternoon lab and my evening data entry shift. Freya, oh my God, I haven't talked to you in forever. Hey, Lauren. So listen, can you look at my resume? I need to update it for this internship. Dad's friend at Ridgemark Marketing has a spot opening and I want it to look polished. No, how are you? No, how's school? Straight to the favor. Sure, send it over. She sends it while we're still on the phone. I scan it. Light on substance, heavy on formatting, sorority philanthropy chair, a study abroad semester in Barcelona, a summer volunteering trip she did for 2 weeks. How's your GPA? I ask. She laughs. Like a 2.8? But honestly, it doesn't matter. Dad says connections matter way more than grades. I glance at my own GPA on the student portal, still open on my laptop, 3.94. Makes sense, I say. Oh, also, Mom and Dad are taking me to New York for my birthday next month. Broadway, some fancy dinner place Marcus found. You should come. She pauses. Oh, wait, you probably can't swing it, right? I'll send pictures. Thanks, Lauren. Good luck with the resume. You're the best, Freya. Love you. She hangs up. I stand in the parking lot for a full minute, phone in my hand, engine noises and wind around me. Then I open my email. There's a message I haven't read yet, sitting below Lauren's resume attachment. Subject line: Congratulations, Spring Merit Scholarship recipient. $8,000 a year, renewable for 2 years. I open it, and for the first time since the Greyhound station, I feel like someone is paying attention. Dr. Elaine Marsh's office is on the 3rd floor of the Whitman Engineering Building. A small room crammed with books, a dying fern, and a whiteboard covered in algorithm diagrams that haven't been erased in what looks like months. Sit down, Freya. She's 48, silver streaks in dark hair, reading glasses permanently perched on her forehead. She nominated me for the Merit Scholarship without telling me first. I only found out when the award email referenced her letter of recommendation. Your work in my algorithms class last fall was the strongest I've seen in 15 years, she says. Your capstone proposal on adaptive scheduling systems is already better than most graduate-level work I review. Thank you, Dr. Marsh. Tell me about your situation. Family support? I'm quiet for a moment. They invested in my sister. I'm self-funded. She doesn't flinch. No pity face. No head tilt. She just nods like I've confirmed something she already suspected. Then let's make sure the right people see what you can do. She pulls out a folder. Inside, an application for the summer internship program at Hale Technologies, a startup that's been doubling revenue every year. They take 6 interns nationally. 6. The CTO, Victoria Hale, personally selects each intern, Dr. Marsh says. She also attends every graduation ceremony when her interns walk. It's her thing. I take the folder. Then she mentions something else, almost offhand. By the way, Wexford's campus is under renovation. Their commencement has been merged with State's this year. Same stadium, same ceremony. I look up. Lauren goes to Wexford. So I've heard. Same stage, same day, same audience. I fill out the Hale application that night. Okay, I need to pause here for a second. My professor just told me the CTO of the company I'd be interning at would personally attend my graduation. And my sister's school just merged their ceremony with mine. Same stage, same day, same audience. If your parents ever told you that you weren't worth investing in, and you proved them wrong on your own terms, drop me a comment. I want to hear your story. And if you're still watching right now, you're about to find out what happened when all of this collided. Hale Technologies operates out of a converted warehouse in Portland with exposed brick, standing desks, and a coffee machine that costs more than my car. I show up on my first day with a secondhand blazer and a notebook full of questions. By the end of the first week, I've stopped asking and started building. The internship program is 12 weeks. I'm assigned to the back-end optimization team. My project: improve the load balancing algorithm for their client dashboard, a system that serves 40,000 users daily. By week 4, I've rewritten a core module. By week 8, it's in production. Victoria Hale notices. She's 38, sharp-jawed, direct in a way that some people find intimidating, and I find comforting. She doesn't do small talk. She does results. "Torrance," she says one afternoon, stopping by my desk. "That module you shipped cut page load time by 31%. My lead engineer has been trying to crack that for 6 months." "I had fresh eyes," I say. "You had talent. Don't deflect." On my last day, she calls me into her office. Leather chair, city view, a framed quote on the wall I can't read from across the desk. "We're extending a full-time offer. You start the Monday after graduation. Salary, equity package, signing bonus." She slides a paper across the desk. The salary is double the average for a fresh CS graduate. The signing bonus alone would cover more than my total student debt. "One more thing," she says. "I attend every graduation where one of my hires walks. When they call your name, I plan to be the first one standing." I drive back to campus that night with the offer letter in my bag and nobody to tell. Not because I'm hiding it, because nobody has asked. Christmas, senior year. I drive 6 hours to be home for the first time in 2 years. Grandpa Bill called and asked me to come. "Your grandmother would want us all together," he said. So I go. The house smells like pine and cinnamon. Lauren's already there, draped across the couch, scrolling her phone. Marcus is in the recliner watching football. Mom's in the kitchen, Dad's setting the table. Dinner is roast chicken, mashed potatoes, green beans from a can. The good plates are out, the ones with the gold rim. Dad carves the chicken and starts talking. "So, Lauren's got some exciting news. She's been accepted into a management trainee program at Ridgemark." Mom beams. "We're so proud." Lauren shrugs. "It's not official yet, but basically a lock." Grandpa Bill sets down his fork, looks at me. "And Freya? What's she been up to?" The table goes quiet. Not silent. Quiet. The kind where everyone is suddenly very interested in their green beans. Dad clears his throat. "Freya's doing fine. She's at state. Computer something." "Computer something," Grandpa Bill repeats. Flat. After dinner, I help Grandpa Bill carry dishes to the kitchen. He dries while I wash. Then he nods toward the back porch. We sit on the cold bench under a string of Christmas lights. I tell him everything. The GPA, the merit scholarship, Hale Technologies, the offer letter, the signing bonus. He doesn't say anything for a long time. His hands are folded, thumbs turning slow circles. "Don't tell them," he says finally. "Let them see it for themselves." "I wasn't planning to, Grandpa. They never asked." He puts his hand on my shoulder, squeezes once. "That's it. Graduation is 4 months away, and for the first time in 4 years, I have something to look forward to." 2 weeks before graduation, Mom throws a party. The banner across the living room reads, "Congratulations, Lauren," in gold glitter letters. The cake is 3 tiers, white frosting, fondant cap on top. A blown-up photo of Lauren in her Wexford sweatshirt sits on an easel by the front door. 30-something guests mill around the house. Neighbors, Mom's church friends, Dad's colleagues, a few of Lauren's sorority sisters who drove up for the weekend. I walk in wearing a dress I bought at Goodwill for $11. Nobody turns around. I also graduate in 2 weeks. My name is not on the banner. My photo is not on the easel. The cake does not say Freya. Mrs. Patterson from next door spots me by the punch bowl. "Aren't both your girls graduating, Diane?" Mom smiles her hostess smile. "Oh, Freya too, yes. She's at the state school, different track." Her hand waves, small, dismissive, already turning back to the shrimp platter. Dad stands up with a glass of champagne. The room quiets. "To Lauren," he says, "we always knew you'd make us proud. Not every investment pays off. But Lauren, you were our best one." The room raises glasses. Someone whoops. Lauren covers her mouth and pretend cries. I stand by the wall, cup of punch in my hand, face neutral. Mr. Miller, one of Dad's accounting colleagues, turns to me. "And you? What did you study?" "Computer science." "Oh, that's a fantastic field. Congratulations. Dad leans in. Well, we'll see. She went to state, so... He chuckles. The circle around him chuckles with him. Nate, who drove 3 hours to be here, appears beside me. He's seen everything. He leans close and whispers, "They have no idea, do they?" No, and I'm done caring. The party winds down around 10. Guests leave in waves, hugs, car doors, headlights sweeping the lawn. I'm upstairs in my old room, sitting on the twin bed that still has the same comforter from high school, when I hear voices from the kitchen below. The door is open. They aren't whispering. Mom, should we do something for Freya's graduation? A card at least? Dad, what for? She went to a no-name school and picked a degree nobody in this family understands. If she wanted a celebration, she should have done something worth celebrating. Mom, I know, but people keep asking why. Dad, let them ask. We did what we could. She chose her own path. I sit on the top step, my back against the wall. The hallway light is off. My hands rest on my knees. I press my fingernails into my palms. Not hard, just enough to feel something other than the conversation happening below me. At the bottom of the staircase, Nate stands in the shadows of the foyer. He's looking up at me. His eyes are red. I shake my head. Tiny motion. Don't. He mouths something I can't read, presses his fist against his chest, and steps outside. I sit there for another 3 minutes, listening to my parents load the dishwasher and talk about whether they should book a brunch reservation after Lauren's ceremony. After Lauren's ceremony. Not the ceremony. Not the girls' ceremony. Lauren's. April 28th. Graduation is May 12th. 14 days. I go back to my room, close the door, pull out my phone and look at the email from the dean's office, the one that arrived that morning. Ms. Torrance, you have been selected to receive the Dean's Award for Academic Excellence. You will be called to the stage individually during commencement. 14 days. I can wait 14 days. Back on campus, I try on my graduation regalia in the mirror of my dorm bathroom. Black gown, gold honor cord for summa cum laude, blue cord for computer science departmental distinction. The cords sit across my shoulders like something I earned in a language my family doesn't speak. I take a photo and send it to Nate. He replies in under a minute. Absolute warrior. I'm going to be insufferable in that audience. Lauren posts her own cap and gown photo that afternoon. Plain black gown, no cords, no stole. She's doing a peace sign. Caption: finally done. 400 likes. I scroll past it and open the email chain with Dr. Marsh. The dean confirmed your award, she writes. The provost will read your bio aloud. GPA, scholarship history, undergraduate research, Hale Technologies internship. The whole room will hear it. I sit with that for a moment. 3,000 people in that stadium, my parents among them. I send a short email to the family group chat, the one that's mostly Lauren's selfies and Mom's inspirational quotes. Looking forward to seeing everyone at graduation. Mom replies within the hour. We'll be there for Lauren. Can't wait. XOXO. She does not mention me, not in the message, not in a follow-up, not at all. That evening, a text from Victoria Hale. See you on the 12th, Torrance. Saving you a handshake. I set my phone on the nightstand and stare at the ceiling. In 12 days, my parents will sit in a stadium of 3,000 people. They'll bring flowers for Lauren. They'll bring a camera for Lauren. And they'll hear my name called. By the dean, by the provost, by the announcer. Over and over, from a podium they didn't know I'd stand behind. Not because I planned it that way, because they never asked what I was doing. May 12th, 8:40 a.m. The stadium holds 3,000 seats, and the parking lot is already a mess of minivans and SUVs with congratulatory window paint. 2 schools, 1 stage, State and Wexford, merged for the year because of Wexford's campus renovations. The programs were printed in a combined booklet, 214 pages of names, bios, and department distinctions. I'm in the honor section, front row, stage left, gold and blue cords against black. The sun is already warm. Lauren is somewhere in the middle of the general seating block, row 40-something, alphabetical by last name within the business school. From where I sit, I can't see her. Row 12 of the audience. Dad, Mom, Marcus, Grandpa Bill. Dad is holding a bouquet of sunflowers, Lauren's favorite. Mom has her phone out, testing the camera angle. They're chatting with the couple next to them, explaining how their daughter is graduating from Wexford's business program. Proud smiles, practiced lines. They haven't looked toward the honor section once. 4 rows behind them, in the reserved block for sponsors and recruiters, Victoria Hale sits with her legs crossed and a Hale Technologies lanyard around her neck. She catches my eye across the crowd and gives a single nod. Dr. Marsh is backstage. I saw her earlier in the staging area. She squeezed my arm and said, "Enjoy every second of this." Nate is in the upper bleachers, Section C. He texts me, "Your parents just sat down. They have sunflowers. They don't see you up front. This is going to be something." Grandpa Bill is scanning the crowd. His eyes find the honor section. Find me. He doesn't wave. He just smiles, slow, certain, and settles back into his seat. The provost steps to the microphone. "Good morning and welcome." It begins. Welcome address, acknowledgements, honorary degree for a retired state senator. The usual ceremony rhythm. Applause, pause, applause. I sit with my hands folded, feeling my heartbeat in my wrists. 20 minutes in, the Dean of Engineering steps to the podium. Each year, the College of Engineering and Computer Science presents the Dean's Award for Academic Excellence to one graduating senior whose record exemplifies the highest standards of scholarship and perseverance. Pause. Paper shuffle. This year's recipient maintained a 3.97 GPA while working 3 concurrent jobs throughout her entire undergraduate career. She contributed to 2 published research papers, earned the Spring Merit Scholarship, and completed a competitive internship at one of the Pacific Northwest's fastest-growing technology firms. In row 12, Mom lowers her phone. Her head tilts. The Dean's Award for Academic Excellence in Computer Science goes to Freya Torrance. I stand, front row, gold cords catching the light. I walk to the podium and the Dean shakes my hand with both of his. Applause fills the stadium. Warm, genuine, the kind that builds. In row 12, Mom's camera is at her side. She's not filming. She's staring. Dad's sunflowers are resting on his lap. His mouth is open slightly, the way it gets when he's doing math and the numbers aren't adding up. Mom starts. "That's Freya," Dad says. The couple beside them turns. "Wait, that's your daughter? Computer science? How wonderful!" Dad nods, tries to smile. It doesn't land. 3 rows ahead of them, a woman I don't know turns around and says, "3 jobs and a 397? You must be incredibly proud." Mom opens her mouth. Nothing comes out. In the upper bleachers, I can hear Nate. He's clapping like he's trying to break his own hands. Grandpa Bill wipes his eyes with the back of his wrist and claps steady as a metronome. The ceremony continues. Names roll through the speakers in alphabetical waves. College of Arts and Sciences, School of Business, College of Engineering. Each graduate walks, shakes, exits. The rhythm is hypnotic. Lauren Torrance, Bachelor of Business Administration, Wexford College. Lauren walks across the stage in her plain black gown. Confident stride, big smile. Mom stands, snaps photos, tosses the sunflowers up at the stage edge. Lauren catches them, waves. The crowd gives polite applause. It's a nice moment, exactly what they prepared for. Then the engineering names resume. Freya Torrance, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science, Summa Cum Laude, Departmental Distinction. 2 titles after my name. The announcer pauses between each one, letting them land. The applause is louder this time, noticeably. 3,000 people just watched me accept the Dean's Award 20 minutes ago. They remember. A few people in the front rows stand. In row 12, Dad is staring at the commencement program. He's reading it for the first time, flipping to the bio section. His finger stops on my entry. Recipient of the Spring Merit Scholarship, Dean's Award, undergraduate researcher, intern, Hale Technologies. He looks up, looks at Mom, looks back at the program. Mom grabs Dad's arm. Her fingers press into his sleeve. She leans in and whispers, "And I know, even from the stage, exactly what she says because I've imagined this moment in 100 different versions for 4 years, and every single one ends with the same 5 words. Robert, what did we do? The couple beside them is beaming. Both of your daughters, and the younger one is summa cum laude? The woman glances at the sunflowers in Lauren's hands, then at Dad's empty lap. Did you bring flowers for both? Nobody answers. I step off the stage and into the corridor behind the seating block. Graduates are milling around, taking photos, hugging parents who've pushed to the front. I'm holding my diploma folder and scanning the crowd for Nate when a voice cuts through the noise. Freya Torrance. Victoria Hale walks toward me from the VIP section. Charcoal blazer, Hale Technologies lanyard, handshake already extended. She grips my hand firmly and says, loud enough that the circle of families around us turns. Congratulations! We're thrilled to have you starting at Hale in 2 weeks. Head swivel. A father in a golf shirt nudges his wife. Is that Victoria Hale, the tech CEO? Dr. Marsh appears from the backstage area. She pulls me into a hug. Quick, tight, real. I am so proud of you. Victoria introduces herself to Dr. Marsh. You're the one who sent me her application. Thank you for that. She did the rest, Dr. Marsh says, glancing at me. From row 12, which is now emptying into the aisle, Dad is watching. He's standing still while the crowd moves around him. A man taps his shoulder. Mr. Gentry, an old colleague from his firm. Robert, your daughter just got hired at Hale Technologies? That company's been in Forbes 3 times this year. You must be thrilled. Dad straightens. Yes. We are. Very proud. But his face tells the truth. He doesn't know what Hale Technologies does. He doesn't know when I interned there. He doesn't know the offer exists. 20 seconds ago, he heard the name for the first time. Across the crowd, Lauren stands at the edge of the family cluster, sunflowers in hand. She watches people surround me, strangers, professors, recruiters, congratulating, shaking, smiling. For the first time in her life, Lauren Torrance is not the center of the room. Listen. I know this moment might sound like something from a movie, but it happened. And the part that gets me, even now, is that my parents were sitting 12 rows back with flowers and a camera ready for Lauren. They had no idea any of this was coming. Not because I kept secrets, because they stopped paying attention 4 years ago. If you've ever been in a room and realized the people who should know you best don't know you at all, subscribe. Because what happened after the ceremony? That's where the real conversation begins. The parking lot behind the stadium is chaos, families spilling between cars, graduates pulling gowns over their heads, someone's little brother blowing an air horn. I'm walking toward my Honda when I hear my name. Freya, wait. Mom. Dad 2 steps behind her. They've left Lauren and Marcus somewhere near the main entrance. Mom's eyes are swollen. She's been crying. Not the pretty kind, the mascara kind. Why didn't you tell us, she says. The scholarship, the award, the job, all of it. Why? I stop walking. Set my diploma folder on the trunk of my car. When should I have told you, Mom? Thanksgiving? You told me to stay at school so Lauren's boyfriend could have the guest room. Christmas? Dad described my major as computer something at the dinner table. The party? You made a banner for Lauren and forgot I was graduating too. That's not... We didn't forget. Dad. I look at him. His jaw is tight, the way it gets when a number doesn't balance. You told Mom that my graduation wasn't worth celebrating. I heard you. April 28th. Kitchen. You said if I wanted a celebration, I should have done something worth celebrating. His face changes. The color leaves it. Mom reaches for my hand. We made mistakes, Freya. We know that. But we're your parents. We love... I know you love me. I've never questioned that. I keep my voice level. But love without respect is just obligation. You spent $188,000 on Lauren's education and told me to figure it out. I figured it out. And now you want to celebrate? You don't get to be proud of something you refuse to invest in. The air horn goes off again somewhere across the lot. A family cheers. Nobody cheers here. Lauren appears at the edge of the conversation, sunflowers against her chest. Marcus hovers a few steps back, phone in hand, clearly wishing he were elsewhere. What's going on? Lauren says. Why is everyone upset? Mom turns. Your sister? She got awards, a job at a technology company. A big one. Lauren blinks. Wait, what? Since when? Why didn't she tell us? I look at her. Lauren, in 4 years you called me twice. Once to fix your resume, once to tell me about your New York trip. You never once asked how I was paying rent. Her mouth opens, closes. I'm not angry at you, I say. You took what was offered. That's what anyone would do. But I need you to understand something. What was given to you was taken from me. Grandma's college fund, the attention, the basic question of how are you doing. Nobody in this family thought the imbalance was a problem, because nobody was looking. Lauren's eyes are wet. I didn't know it was that bad. Because you never looked. Footsteps on gravel. Grandpa Bill walks up behind Dad, slow and deliberate. He puts one hand on my shoulder, doesn't speak to me, speaks to his son. I've known about Freya's scholarship since her sophomore year, Robert. Her GPA since freshman year. The internship, the job offer. She told me because I called her. Every other Sunday I called her. That's the difference, son, I asked. Dad stares at his father. Grandpa Bill's voice doesn't waver. You spent 4 years investing in the wrong spreadsheet. The lot is thinning out. Car engines start. Somewhere a family is laughing, taking one more photo. The sun is getting hot. Nobody in our circle is smiling. I look at them. Dad, Mom, Lauren. Grandpa Bill standing behind me with his hand still on my shoulder. I'm not cutting you off, I say. I'm not punishing anyone, but I'm moving to Seattle in 2 weeks to start a career that I built with my own hands, my own money, and my own time. If you want to be part of my life going forward, you can be, but not the way it's been. What does that mean? Dad asks. His voice is rough. It means no more spreadsheets, no more comparing returns, no more assuming I'm fine because I'm quiet. If you call me, ask how I'm doing, not to measure me against Lauren. If you come visit, bring flowers for both your daughters, or don't bring any at all. Mom is crying openly now. She nods, small, fast, like she's afraid the offer will expire. Dad looks at the ground. His hands hang at his sides. The man who built his career on projections and probability can't find a number that makes this add up. I love you, I say. All of you. But I love myself enough now to stop waiting for you to see me. Other people already do. A professor who pushed me toward a scholarship. A CTO who stood up in a crowd to shake my hand. A friend who drove 3 hours to stand in a parking lot because he knew no one else would. I hug Grandpa Bill. He holds on an extra second. Proud of you, kid, he says into my hair. I nod at Nate, who's been leaning against his car 20 feet away, watching everything. Then I get in my Honda, the one I bought with tip money and plasma donations, and I pull out of the lot. I don't look in the rearview mirror, not out of anger, out of respect for the person I've become. Seattle is gray and green and smells like coffee and rain. My studio apartment is 400 square feet on the 3rd floor of a building that was probably a warehouse in another life. I furnish it over 2 weekends, bed frame from a yard sale, desk from a thrift store, a lamp Nate ships me as a housewarming gift with a note that says, for the future, CTO, don't forget us little people. Monday morning, Hale Technologies headquarters, glass and steel and people walking fast. Victoria meets me in the lobby, badge in hand. Freya Torrance, Software Engineer 1. My name, my title, printed on plastic and clipped to a lanyard. She walks me through the office, introducing me to the team. This is Freya. She's the intern who cut our load time by 31%. We hired her before she finished her last final. People nod, shake my hand. One woman from the QA team says, "Oh, you're the one Victoria keeps talking about." I sit down at my desk. Dual monitors, a mechanical keyboard, a window that looks out over Puget Sound on clear days. Today is not clear. It's overcast and soft, but I can see the outline of the water. For the first time in my life, I'm in a room where people know my name because of something I built, not because of whose daughter I am, not because of who I'm standing next to. That night, Grandpa Bill calls. How was day 1? I tell him everything. The badge, the desk, the view. Your grandmother would be over the moon, he says. So am I. After we hang up, I open my student loan portal. $67,400. I set up an automatic payment plan. At this salary, I'll be debt-free before I turn 24. I earned this, every cent of it. The weeks after graduation are quiet in my apartment and loud back home. Dad goes to work on Monday. 2 colleagues stop by his office before lunch. Robert, your daughter's at Hale Technologies? I saw the Forbes feature on them last month. Incredible hire. Dad Googles Hale Technologies for the first time that afternoon. He reads the company profile, the valuation, the founder's bio. He closes the browser and stares at his desk for a long time. At church on Sunday, Mom's friend Patty corners her after the service. Diane, I looked up Freya's award online. The Dean's Award? They listed her bio. 3 jobs the entire time? I had no idea she was doing all that. How come she wasn't at the graduation party? Mom manages a smile. We weren't as close as we should have been these last few years. Patty tilts her head, says nothing, says everything. Back home, Lauren's situation is unfolding on a different timeline. The management trainee program at Ridgemark, the one Dad's friend promised, the one she'd called, basically a lock, at Christmas, falls through. Budget cuts. Position eliminated. She's back in her childhood bedroom with a 2.8 GPA and a resume that lists a sorority philanthropy chair and a 2-week volunteer trip. She applies to 14 jobs in June, gets 2 callbacks, no offers. One night, Dad sits at the kitchen table. He opens his laptop, scrolls to the old file. Education ROI, Torrance family. 2 columns. Lauren, green, Freya, red. He stares at the red column. Uncertain, it said. Uncertain. He closes the laptop and doesn't open that file again. Late that night, Mom texts me. Can we come visit you in Seattle sometime? I reply. Give me a month to get settled, then yes. A boundary, but not a closed door. Lauren calls at the end of June. It's a Tuesday evening and I'm eating leftover pad thai on my couch with my laptop balanced on a pillow. Hey, she says. No preamble, no favor. Hey. I've been thinking about what you said. In the parking lot. About me never looking. She pauses. You were right. I set my fork down. Wait. I got everything handed to me and I just assumed I deserved it. Like it was normal. Like that's how it worked for everyone. Her voice is thin, careful. And now I'm sitting in my old room with no job and a degree that hasn't opened a single door, and you're in Seattle building something real, and I keep thinking, how did I miss it? How did I not see what was happening to you? Because the system was built for you, Lauren. It's hard to notice unfairness when you're the one benefiting. That doesn't make it okay. No, it doesn't. Silence, not hostile, just 2 sisters sitting with something new between them, not forgiveness yet, not resolution, just honesty. I don't want you to feel guilty, I say. Guilt doesn't fix anything. I want you to see me as your sister, not the one who got less, not the quiet one, just me. She's crying, quiet, real crying, not the kind from the graduation party with the 3-tier cake. I'm sorry, Freya. I should have asked. I should have called. You're calling now. That counts for something. A beat. She sniffles. Then, I've been thinking about maybe learning to code. Is that stupid? It's not stupid. Would you send me some stuff to look at? Like where to start? I'll send you some resources tonight. Not saving her, not fixing it for her. Just leaving the door open. That's all I've ever wanted anyone to do for me. October. 6 months since graduation. The leaves in Seattle turn amber and gold and fall on the sidewalk outside my building like little pieces of surrender. I've paid off $22,000 of student debt. My title at Hale has changed. Junior engineer, promoted after my Q3 performance review. Victoria sent a 1-line email. Told you we hired well. Mom and Dad come to visit on a Saturday. First time seeing my apartment. First time stepping into my life since the parking lot. Mom stands in the doorway and looks around. Small, clean. A plant on the windowsill that's actually alive. Bookshelves I assembled myself. A framed photo of me, Nate, and Grandpa Bill on the kitchen counter. Taken last Christmas. The one where nobody asked about my GPA. It's nice, she says softly. Dad walks to the window. Puget Sound is visible today. Gray-blue, streaked with fairy lines. He stands there for a long time with his hands in his pockets. Freya. Yeah, Dad. I'm sorry. I was wrong. 5 words, no spreadsheet, no projection, no justification. Thank you, Dad. He nods, doesn't turn from the window. I think he might be crying, but I don't check. Some things are allowed to stay private. I cook dinner, pasta with garlic bread. Nothing fancy. My table seats 4 if you push the chairs close. We sit knee to knee in my tiny kitchen and eat. Mom looks at the food, the apartment, the woman I've become. This is nice, she says again. This time, it doesn't mean the apartment. It is, I say. We don't resolve everything over one plate of pasta. Families don't work that way. But for the first time in 5 years, my parents are sitting at my table. And they stay. Nate calls that night, 10 minutes after my parents leave. So, how was dinner with the Torrance delegation? It was good, quiet. Dad apologized. Wait, Robert Torrance? The spreadsheet king? He actually said the words? 5 of them. I need a minute. I hear him exhale. Okay, I'm back. That's growth. For him, that's basically a TED Talk. I laugh. Actually laugh. The kind where my shoulders move and my eyes close and I forget, for a second, about the 4 years of silence that brought me here. You know, Nate says, I've been thinking about that graduation party, when your dad made that toast about Lauren being his best investment and the whole room raised their glasses. I was standing by the wall next to you, and I wanted to stand on a chair and tell every single person in that room the truth. Why didn't you? Because you didn't need me to. You just stood there, cup of punch in hand, and you took it. And then 2 weeks later, you walked across that stage and outshone every person in that stadium without raising your voice. I didn't outshine anyone, Nate. I just showed up as myself. Yeah, that was always enough. Your family just couldn't see it. A pause. Then his voice shifts, lighter, almost giddy. So, funny story. I got a job in Seattle. You're kidding. Marketing coordinator at a firm downtown. Start date's November 1st. Looks like you're stuck with me, Torrance. I can live with that. We stay on the phone for another 40 minutes, talking about nothing important. Apartment hunting, coffee shops, whether Seattle really rains as much as people say. Just 2 friends on a Tuesday night, building a life in a new city. The kind of easy that used to feel impossible. November, a Wednesday evening. I'm sitting on my balcony with a mug of tea, laptop open. The city hums below. Buses, crosswalk signals, someone's dog barking 3 floors down. An email from Mom. Lauren just got an interview at a marketing firm in Boston. Can you help her prep? She's nervous. XO Mom. I type back. Tell Lauren to call me directly. I'm happy to help. Small thing. But it matters. Mom isn't the middleman anymore. If Lauren needs me, she comes to me. Sister to sister. That's how it works now. I close the laptop and look out at the skyline. Cranes on the horizon, building something new. The water is dark. A ferry blinks its way across the sound. My parents spent $188,000 on my sister's college education and 0 on mine. Dad put it in a spreadsheet and called it smart investing. Mom put it in a text message and called it being independent. Lauren put it in a phone call and didn't think about it at all. I called it a wake-up call. Because the day my family decided I wasn't worth their money, they taught me something no tuition check could buy. My value was never theirs to assign. I don't hate them. I don't need them to grovel. I don't need a banner with my name in gold glitter or a 3-tier cake. I just needed them to see me, Freya. Not Lauren's younger sister, not the girl who went to state, not the quiet one in the back of the family photo, just Freya. And now they do. If you've ever been the Freya in your family, the one who was overlooked, underestimated, left to figure it out alone, I want you to know something. You were always worth the investment, even if they couldn't see it yet. That's my story. Or at least, the part I can fit into one video. If you made it this far, thank you. If any part of this hit close to home, if you've ever been the child who funded their own future while watching someone else get everything handed to them, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment and tell me, did you ever get your graduation moment, or are you still building toward it? Either way, you're not alone. If you want more stories like this, check the description. I've got a few that might feel familiar. And hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I'll see you there.